A ratio is a comparison of two quantities. In this example, we're comparing a number of circles to number of triangles. Here we have 3 circles and 8 triangles. We represent a ratio using a column, so circles to triangles, 3 to 8, or we can write it as 3 to 8. Sometimes you can also use a fraction, 3 over 8. All these represent the quantity of circles to quantity of triangles. We could also use a ratio to represent circles to the total figures. Since we have 3 circles and in total we have 3 plus 8, 11 figures, this would be 3 to 11. In practice 1, we'll compare number of sunny days to rainy days. We have 7 sunny days and 5 rainy days. To show the ratio of sunny days to rainy days, we write 7 to 5, 2, or 7 colon 5, or 7 over 5. Now pause the video and complete the practice. Here we have a ratios of rainy days to sunny days to all days. In total we have 12 days, and rainy days to all days. Equivalent ratios are similar to equivalent fractions. Remember that to simplify a fraction, we simply reduce numerator and denominator by the same factor. To find x in example 2, we have to figure out by what number do we multiply 4 to get 24. We know that 4 times 6 is 24. We have to do the same with number 3. 3 times 6 is 18. So we can figure out that x is 18. Practice 2. Find a number x so that the ratios are equivalent. In C, we have to figure out what number we multiply 8 by to get negative 40. 8 times negative 5 is negative 40. We have to multiply 3 by negative 5 as well. Remember to put negative numbers, integers, in brackets. 8 times negative 5 is negative 40. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. So x equals to negative 15. It makes sense because negative divided by negative is positive, and 8 over 3 is a positive fraction. Now pause the video and complete the other questions. Now check your answers. In A, x equals to 4. In B, x is 49. And in D, x is 8. Remember that when you multiply negative 2 by negative 4, you get positive A. And check that 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. Namdi has 16 t-shirts. 9 are blue and the rest are white. What is the ratio of blue to white t-shirts? Let's represent blue t-shirts with letter B and white t-shirts with letter W. We're looking for a ratio of blue to white t-shirts. We know that we have 9 blue t-shirts and the rest are white. If in total we have 16 t-shirts, 16 minus 9 is 7. So we have 7 white t-shirts. The ratio of blue to white t-shirts is 9 to 7. A proportion is an equation showing two equivalent ratios. Let's look at example 3. If the ratio of rainy to sunny days is 2 to 3, how many sunny days would we have if there are 14 rainy days? Let's represent rainy days with R and sunny days with S. We create a proportion, which is two equations with two equivalent ratios. So rainy days to sunny days is 2 to 3. We need to find how many sunny days we have if there are 14 rainy days. So when R is 14. So we're going to substitute R with 14. We know that two fractions are equivalent. So 2 times 7 gives us 14. 3 times 7 is 21. So we know that S is 21. So we have 21 sunny days if there are 14 rainy days. 2 over 3 and 14 over 21 are two equivalent fractions, and this is an example of a proportion. In a recipe, the ratio of flour to sugar is 4 to 1. Let's represent flour with letter F and sugar with letters S. We have flour to sugar equals 4 to 1. If you have 200 grams of flour, so we substitute F with 200. How much sugar should we use? We're looking for S. When using proportions, we have to make sure that the units are the same. So if we have 200 grams of flour, we're looking for grams of sugar. If we have 5 cups of flour, we would be looking for cups of sugar, and so on. Let's substitute F with 200, and we're looking for S, and it's equivalent to 4 over 1. We have to multiply 4 by 50 to get 200, so we have to multiply 1 by 50 as well. We get 200 grams of flour to 50 grams of sugar, which is equivalent to 4 over 1. Therefore, you need 50 grams of sugar with 200 grams of flour. Emilia read 12 pages out of 48 pages in total. What is the simplest ratio of read to unread pages? Let's represent read pages with R and unread pages with U. R to U. We know that Emilia read 12 pages. If in total there are 48 pages, we can find that there are 36 unread pages. Next, we have to reduce it to the simplest ratio. We can divide 12 and 36 by 6. The simplest ratio of read to unread pages is 2 to 6. Actually, we should further reduce 2 to 6 by dividing by 2. And we find the simplest ratio is actually 1 to 3. So for one read page, there are 3 unread pages. If we wanted to find the ratio of read pages to total pages, we would have 12 over 48, which would give us 1 to 4. At a school party, the ratio of hamburgers to hot dogs sold is 2 to 3. Let's represent number of hamburgers with letter H and hot dogs with letter D. The number of hot dogs sold is 45. How many more hot dogs than hamburgers were sold? Let's start with the ratio. hamburgers to hot dogs. The simplest ratio is 2 to 3. We know that 45 hot dogs were sold. We have to find how many hamburgers were sold. We have to multiply 3 by 15 to get 45. We have to do the same to the ratio with hamburgers, so 2 times 15. We have 30 hamburgers and 45 hot dogs. This is a proportion, so we have two equivalent fractions. There are 30 hamburgers sold, 45 hot dogs sold. There are how many more hot dogs than hamburgers were sold? We need to subtract hot dogs minus hamburgers to find how many more hot dogs were sold. 15 more hot dogs than hamburgers were sold. The ratio of students who passed a test to those who failed is 7 to 2. Let's represent the number of students who passed the test with letter P and those who failed the test with letter F. We can write the proportion students who passed to students who failed is 7 to 2. If there were 42 students who passed, how many students failed? We have to find how many students failed when P equals to 42. Let's substitute P with 42 and find by what number we have to multiply 7 to get 42. 7 times 6 is 42. Let's multiply 2 times 6. When 42 students pass the test, 2 times 6, 12 students fail the test. The ratio is still 7 to 2. 12 students failed the test. Now complete the homework to practice more on fractions and proportions.